Yes, whoever you are. So George says, Jay Wise, thoughts on the Nick Awaken situation? Never heard of Nick Awaken. Who's that? See if we can explain it a little bit in the chat. Yeah, I've never heard of no Nick Awaken person. I say, is that Jelani? Yeah. Live in the flesh. I said, do night shifts. This is the night shift. The work never stops. Listen. So I wake up in the morning, and obviously the first thing I do really is just start uploading videos. I'll go to work, and what I've started doing now is I've started bringing my laptop to work with me. So over the last 3-4 weeks, I think there's been one day that I've gone to work with leaving my laptop at home. I bring it with me so that I can sit in my car and cut up videos. You know what man's been doing? Literally getting in the car, started to edit a video, and then obviously press the button for it to start editing and that. It takes time for it to edit. It's not just you click a button and it's done. It takes, 5-10 minutes, depending on how long the video is. If the video is a 30-second video, which JY does not produce hardly any, it will be quicker than if the video is 10 minutes long or 3 minutes long, whatever. And that anyway. So I'll set it to start downloading or exporting, as it calls it, and then I'll drive to my next job. And certain times, if I'm stuck in traffic, that's all right, because that gives me time to edit the next video. At certain times, I will pull over halfway through the journey, which is only like 10-minute drive, 15-minute drive, and that, edit a next video and continue the journey. And that's what stage it's got to. Yeah, man, not fucking about. Me, I like to try and do two things at once. So what I've been doing, and I started doing this a little while back, kind of stopped in between, but obviously it takes me a long time to do my paperwork on the tablet. So I do the electrical tests at work on the jobs, and then I have to go home and then have to fill out the documents on the tablet. So before, man, I used to sit down for an hour and a half just listening to something. And then I got this bright idea. Why don't I react to videos whilst I'm sitting down on the tablet? Now, obviously, let's say a reaction video will typically take an hour. Yeah, when I'm just sitting in front of the screen. Because I'm doing the paperwork and that, like, sorry, let's say typically it will take me an hour and a half to do paperwork and that. Well, let's say because I'm reacting to a video, I have to stop doing the paperwork. Now it might take me 2 hours and 15 minutes, but I get a reaction video out of it. So man's got into the habit of doing two things at once. Yeah, literally multitasking. Apparently, they say multitasking is for women. No, I heard otherwise. I heard multitasking is for men. I heard women can't multitask. I'm just trying to live stream on the other channel, on the other account. It's not doing it. I said J.Wise. Yep, that's me. Let me adjust the screen. But this Aquilo person said, how you been? Yeah, man, good. How many videos do you upload in a day? I would say at least 8 videos. At least 8 videos. So, nah, man, 10, at least 10. Because I've got JY's TV, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, and clips. I've got reacts, but I ain't bothering with that one for a little while. So man's got 5 active accounts, and I'll upload 2 videos to each account. And certainly accounts, they've got like, it's called on this day. So like, let's say the software that I use on the Windows 10 laptop that I use, you know, like it will pop up with, oh, you uploaded this picture a year ago. Same with Facebook, same with TikTok. So with TikTok, it shows you what video you uploaded on that particular day, obviously a year ago. And that. So man's got them videos there. So I just re-upload those videos because a lot of people ain't gonna have seen those videos. It gets views, it might get a couple follows and that, ain't got nothing to lose. Seen it already, go and find another video that you ain't watched. Trust me, man got bare videos, you cannot keep up with all of them. Yeah. So yeah, a minimum 10. But I'll say on average, easily man can upload like 15 to 18 videos a day. Easily. There was one point, yeah, where man was uploading like probably 4 videos to each account. Yeah, like 20 videos a day. That it is hard to keep up with because obviously man need to keep pumping, like editing videos and that, you know, to feed the accounts. Right, let me just sign on to this other live. So right, so someone said, "What have you done to the world?" What does that mean? Trying to make it a better place still. How often do you buy clothes? I still wear clothes I bought 6, 7 years ago. Yeah, why not? Don't make these fucking idiots shame you for still having clothes that you was wearing 6, 7 years ago or 10 years ago. Listen, if it's still in good condition, why can't you wear clothes that you had 10 years ago? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, when you're wrapped up in this fashion business, yeah, it can only hurt you. It can only hurt your pockets. One time I was running down Bouncers Road. That's where I go for my runs, yeah? And I'm running down the road and I just see some like Romanian guy in True Religions. It's probably fake. And even me, I thought like, yo, why are you still wearing True Religions? Like, yo, that's some 010, 011 business and that. So this is what I'm saying, yeah, like when you keep up with fashion, now every set of clothes that you get at some point, there's an imaginary sand timer next to it. It's gonna become redundant. No one's gonna rate it. You should buy clothes that are timeless. Levi's. Levi's have obviously there probably was a time where Levi's was really in fashion, and then it just, you know, kind of just died down and that. Yeah. But Levi's are timeless. I had a man take the piss because I wear Uniqlo jeans. And look now, okay, I wear Uniqlo jeans. You're in a council house. I've got 6 properties, fam. You can't talk to me. Okay, yeah, you got big wardrobe full of clothes and that. Cool. Press 1 if you'd rather have 6 properties as opposed to a wardrobe that's worth 30 grand. Press 1 in the chat. Press 1 in the chat if you'd rather a wardrobe that's 30 grand or rather have 6 properties. Press 2. You know what? Don't even press 2. Press leave this live stream. Yeah? Because I don't want nobody, yeah, following me or watching me if you have that mindset. My content is not for you, fam. So yeah, if you've got clothes that's 6, 7 years old, why not wear it? Why not wear it? Now, obviously, maybe might come a point like, yo, man, been wearing them old, dusty clothes. Like, yeah, you know, sometimes it's nice they just, you know, get some new clothes and that. But I know people, I remember hearing people say, like, yo, every summer they throw out their wardrobe and buy new clothes. What? Bro, people. Someone said, Mr. J. Wise, can I ask you how much deposit you put in for a property? Yeah. 10% of the total value of the property. If it's for a residential property. If it's for a buy to let, you have to put in 25%. So my first house, I only put down 13,600. Certain people right now who would be buying a property that's a little bit more than my first house, what my first house is valued at now, which is 200. So basically, my first house was valued at 140. I paid 136, but it was valued at 140 in 2017. Now it's worth 210. If you bought a property and you're not a first-time buyer, so you're buying a second property, and the property was worth a little bit more than that, call it 250, you know, yeah, you'd have to pay about £15,000 in stamp duty. This is how crazy it's got right now with the stamp duty. What age do you have your license by? Do you know, I was literally thinking about this today, you know. I was thinking to myself, like, yo, there's men who are well into their 30s and not driving. How can you be well into your 30s and not driving, rude boy? So, yeah, man, 23, 24, you need to have that license and that car. Yeah. You still want to be riding the bus at 22 years old, 24. Obviously, I've got on the bus in my 30s, you know what I mean? Just for whatever reason and that. But I didn't have to. I could have taken a cab if I really wanted to. But that's not just me every single day. I see people wait. There's been times here where, like, when I was doing up this property, obviously the other house is around the corner where I was living. I used to drive back and forth, obviously, innit? And I used to see people at 11 o'clock at night standing at the bus stop. And I'm telling you, yo, it's not like in London, you know, like, yo, these roads are lonely. They're gloomy and eerie. Yeah, you can hear a pin drop. You can literally hear when the bus is coming from 2 miles away and that. And I'm thinking, like, yo, these people are really just remember, obviously, before it was freezing cold as well. I mean, it must be cold at night time as well. Like even now, although it's April and that, there's people really standing in the cold waiting for a bus. Fuck that. So man said, I just saw a video of the video. I just saw the video of the jacket that you had from 15 years ago. Yeah, yeah. What am I gonna throw it away for? Yeah, yes, Nadia. I see you in the stream. Someone says sometimes I wear ripped clothes like a homeless man. Same here. Same here. I remember when I was at the infamous Holborn job, around this area, they used to have kind of like a food bank thing. That it was more like just for the homeless people. There's been bare homeless people around the Holborn area. I remember one time I was leaving early. It was 8 p.m. Man was leaving work early. Yeah, that's how mad the shifts were. Going home at 8 p.m. was early. Yeah, bearing in mind, man started at 8 a.m. Yeah, I was going home early. It was 8 p.m. And I remember I see some homeless people like just standing up in a line getting some warm food and shit. And I looked at what I was wearing and I was like, yo, I look like them. Yeah. I look like them. But, obviously, it's not all about what clothes you're wearing. And to be fair, there was a work colleague there. I said, you know what, yeah, people that see me, because these times I only had one property. I was like, people that see me walking down the street, they probably think I'm broke. And she said, nah, the way you carry yourself, they'll probably can tell that you're doing well. And maybe, but there's a lot of broke guys out here that have confidence level to the max. I mean, to be fair, even if I was broke, I would still be confident because I just got that arrogance and I've got such an ego. So to be fair, even if I was broke, I still would be confident anyway. Wait, hold on a minute. So this person said, Jay Wise, why do some people at work have a problem? What happened to the thing? They just disappeared. Someone asked what bike you got. For the moment, I just got R6. So the person said, the thing is, my clothes are still good. Yeah. Like it's ridiculous. Like obviously, like you don't want to go to that yearly family barbecue, and the people there in your family are saying like, yeah, when Jay comes, I guarantee he's gonna be wearing those jeans and that green string vest. Like, come on, man, don't want to predict your your drip or your fit is the new word and that, but. Yeah, man, I don't give a fuck, man. I'll wear clothes that are old. I don't give a shit, man. Fuck 'em, blood. You can stay with your brand new clothes in your fucking council house, yeah? Someone said, Jay, I heard you close on your 10th property. For God's sake, buy a car now. Nah, man, 6th property, man. But nah, for real, man needs a new car still. Nothing on my car works. Nothing. Not even the windows. Someone said, who gets more girls, you or him? Him, but I don't give a fuck about getting a bunch of girls. So this is a good thing someone said. So I said, obviously, man, know certain people and that, you know, they got big wardrobe, 20 grand, all this crap and that. But I've got 6 properties, yeah? Cool. So someone said, I believe, they're like, oh, who gets more girls, you or him? Probably him. The thing is, I don't give a damn about getting girls like that. I don't care. Let's just say I was single, yeah? I don't give a shit. I don't care, yeah, how many girls I'm getting. I don't care, yeah, if I'm getting 10s, yeah? If I had a new 10 every 2 weeks, I don't give a shit. At some point, that gets old. And there will be this void that has been filled, that needs to be filled. Like, I don't care. I don't care about 10s and that. Fuck 10s when you're broke, man. I'd rather be a multi-millionaire, but I'm only dating 2 or 3 girls every year. Just 2 or 3 girls every year, as opposed to just some average Joe on 40, 50 grand a year, but I'm banging a new 10 every month. Fuck that. Fuck that. When I'm there in the grave in 200 years' time, do you think my fucking ancestors are gonna be like, oh yeah, man. Yeah, my great-great-great-grandfather, man, he really was slaying them. Nah. They'll rather know, say, I have this house because of my great-great-great-grandfather. Go to the fucking cemetery and tell me how much of them man there were fucking players and licking down every gal inside. Yeah? You don't know. But I guarantee you, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, his great-great-great-grandchildren times 20 will know his name and know what he was on. That's why man have to stop talking to certain man, because all it is about gal. I told you already. I had a man phone me up to ask me about a man in my ends that was very well known, yeah, my generation, asking me about, was my man getting girls 12 years ago? Who gives a shit if he was getting girls 12 years ago? This guy doesn't even know your name. You have never come up in any of his conversations. But yet still, you phone me up to ask that question. Get your money up, man. And this is why, yeah, certain people will never be rich because they're not even trying to get money for the real reason, for the right reasons. There's certain man, they just want to get money just so they can get more girls. No, I want to get money for me and my bloodline. I don't want to get money for fucking girls. Girls don't even give a shit about money. They don't. Girls don't give a shit about money. I tell you how I know this to be true. For the most part, 90% of women don't care about your money. Yeah? Tell you how I know this. Look at all the women in your family. I don't care if the women in your family are 10s or 2s out of 10. Yeah? Look at the women in your family. Whether the girl is 17, 18, or 70, 80 years old. Look at the men that they're with. I don't care if the men that they're with is a 10 or a 2. Are the men that they're with, are they rich? Is your dad rich? Was your granddad rich? These women will go on holiday and have 10 one-night stands. Do you think and let's say the guy said he was rich. What did she do to verify that this guy's actually telling the truth? There are teachers in school, female teachers, that do a madness with the male students then, yeah? Them boys there still live at their mummy's house. They're going home to play Xbox. They need pocket money from their mum. They have no money, basically. Women don't give a shit about money. They don't care. Women more care maybe about lifestyle and maybe what you can offer them. But women don't care about how much money you got. If that was the case, yeah, do you know, girls will be beating off my fucking DMs and that. Because I'll say, I got 4 properties, 5 properties, 6 properties and that. Girls don't give a shit. They don't care about stuff like that. They don't care about your money, man. You know how many cheating wives are flipping banging the gardener or the flipping plumber or the electrician, and they got some rich CEO husband, bang the removal man and that. They don't give a shit, man, about money, man. So someone asked, what are you eating? Well, I was eating apple crumble that my girl made. So to be fair, that's not even my dinner. That's that's the afters before dinner. Yeah. I have to make sure I eat up because obviously my girl goes out of her way to make the apple crumble for me. So make sure I eat it. Let's put this out there right now. My girl is the best cook. Yeah. My girl is even a better cook than my mom. Yeah. Yeah. Nadia's cooking is on point. Trust me. Everyone that's tasted Nadia's food, they rate it, including my mom, including my stepdad, including one of my brethren and that. Yeah. I even told one of my friends that. What's that? Anyway, I even told one of my friends that, yeah, I told my mom, like, yeah, mom, Nadia's food is better than yours. How can you tell your mom that your girl's cooking is better than your mom? What am I going to pretend? See, this is how real it gets. This is how real your man Jay Wise is. Yeah, I'm not going to pretend and lie to my mom that my mom's cooking is better than my girl's. No, my girl is a seasoned cook. See, certain people will think, oh yes, because certain people think, oh yeah, you know, white girls can't cook. Yeah, maybe, but Nadia's not English. Yeah, she's fucking half Arab, half Polish. Yeah, Nadia knows how to cook. I'm not going to pretend that my mom's cooking is better than my girl's cooking just because it's my mom. So this is what I'm saying. Yeah, this is the mindset that I have. I don't make no passes and no allowances for anybody. When I have the mentoring sessions with the young youths, I mean, they're not so young. I had a 28-year-old the other day. I've even had a man that was a year older than me. I will tell them, no disrespect, but blood, your dad has failed you. Because you're coming to a man that's not much older than you, pretty much the same age as you if you're 28, but I had a 19-year-old the day before, and you're coming to a man that's not that much older than you for life advice. If your dad was something special, if your dad was a knowledgeable man, you shouldn't need to go to some next random guy for life advice. Because obviously I'm an electrician. If a man come to me for electrical advice, that's different. I'm not expecting dads to know everything, but this is basic stuff. Very basic stuff. I'm not, obviously I'll go into specifics and that, but what I'm saying is I'm giving like basic kind of general advice. You know what I mean? Obviously I'm going to tailor it to a man's situation and that. But I just sit there, well, I don't even need to scratch my head. I know why these guys don't have dads in their life that can drop knowledge, because their mums were idiots and picked stupid men to sleep with and allow them to pass on their genes. So if your dad is a waste man, blame your mum. Your mum picked him. Your mum had a shit mate selection process. That's it. That's why your dad's a joke, man. Because at the end of the day, there's billions of men on planet Earth. Yeah, what you think every man is gonna have his head screwed on? No. So therefore, it's down to the women to pick the good ones from the bad ones. Right. Someone said I missed their question. Hold on. So a man said, Jay, what do you think about people turning 40 alone, still not starting a family? Is there any regret? I have an older bro turning 40 next week. To be fair, I swear, didn't I upload a video? What's that African brother? Is it Chizo and Gabriel? I'm sure, did I upload that video? Because I've done a reaction video to it. Because basically what happened was I was just driving my car And I was just listening to it, and I thought, right, these men are dropping gems and that. Nah, do you know what? I ain't even uploaded it, you know. Fuck, that is crazy, yeah. That someone actually asked this question. I actually done a reaction video to that Chisel guy's um, video with the Gabriel guy, and basically he was talking about being 40 and alone. I mean, who gives a shit about being alone? Yeah, I don't give a fuck about being 40 or 50 and not having a woman. I don't need a woman. I will have a problem with being 40 or 50 and having no kids. I don't give a fuck about having a missus. I really don't care. I'm too busy. I keep myself busy. I keep my mind occupied and that. This is the problem, yeah? A lot of men have no purpose. So they have this void that needs to be filled. Instead of filling this void with purpose and conquest and building something like, you know, something tangible in that, like a business or social media or whatever, and that, they want to fill their void with a woman. Do you know how much man hours, man years have been wasted on planet Earth? Because guys are just filling their void with women, just or with their woman, going to all these stupid ass fucking family get-togethers on a Sunday. And I probably should be working, man. Should be working. Imagine spending all that, investing all that time into going to your wife's family Sunday dinners and that for 10 years on the trot, for you to get a divorce and for them people to never speak to you ever again. You don't get back that time. I'm not doing that bullshit. I don't give a fuck about having a woman or being in a relationship. The only thing I'll give a damn about is not having children. Other than that, I don't care. Like, do you know what? Maybe I'm just a weirdo, yeah? Because I like my own company. I can sit in this house all alone and have no communication with anybody and be just fine. Just fine. I don't sit and think, oh, just need some companionship. No. Do you know what? Yeah, maybe I'm just a weirdo. Obviously, it serves me well. It works to my advantage and that. But maybe I'm just weird. But I'm not though, because I remember going to one of my older female family members' house. And she said she loves her own space. She loves when, because she lives with people, obviously. She loves when everyone's out of the house and she's got the house to herself. But obviously, do you know what? Yeah, that little half a day or 1 day break, because everyone might go away for the weekend or whatever, and that's different than living alone. She told me her partner, he's the opposite. He don't like being in the house alone. Bitch, is what I thought. How can you not like being in the house alone? You're a grown ass man. Why do you need someone around you for? Weak energy pussy, man. I give a damn thing. I need people around me. See, weak little animals, they need a lot of other animals around them. Strong apex predators, they ride this thing alone. Yeah. Everyone thinks that lions are, you get me, big and bad. Well, not really, because lions hunt in packs. Yeah. Weak little animals are in packs. You see, in the sea, you got the schools of fish, 1,000 fish. Yeah, weak little animals. Till the big great white shark comes along. The real apex predator. Apex predator is the predator that's at the top of the food chain. No real known other predators and that. Like they are at the top of the food chain. Is a tiger. Yeah, lone. Yeah, my man's on his jacks. Goes out hunting on his own. Don't need a pack of lionesses to hunt with. No, none of that bullshit. I love being alone. When I was at home, so you know, like during lockdown and that, like obviously I don't know no one in Northampton. I've made a lot of enemies. I have no friends. Not one friend in Northampton. Got enemies, but no friends. Yeah. You see, during lockdown, obviously I don't know anyone in this area. I'm sitting in the house on my own. Nadia was living in London. Yeah. So I'm up in Northampton on my own. I wasn't on the phone I didn't speak to nobody. I had random family members that I don't talk to. They're not even family members. They're like the mum of a family member. So they're not related to me. I happen to be related to my particular family member's dad. Yeah. So this mum of a family member that I'm not related to is phoning me from Jamaica. I thought it was a mistake. I remember this woman in Jamaica phoned me. I was like, huh? But I saw a missed call. I thought, she made a mistake. She just pressed the wrong button. Cool. But then another time she phoned me. I'm like, what? So I answered it. She's like, oh, yeah, it's such and such. Do you remember me? The fact that you have to introduce yourself like that means you shouldn't even be phoning me. Why are you phoning someone that you have to introduce? Oh, do you remember me? If you're not asking for anything serious, you're not phoning for any particular reason and that. I just said to her, oh, you know, I got to do something. I just blocked off the phone. I'm not wasting 2 minutes to 20 minutes of my life talking to this idiot. Do you know why? Because it was lockdown. That's why she's phoning me. I guarantee you, I promise you, if this old ass lady was a multi-millionaire on a yacht with her friends, getting ready to depart from this yacht, getting picked up by a Rolls-Royce Phantom to go and have dinner with her old friends, do you think she'll be phoning me? The answer's no. So I'm not going to waste my time talking to you because you have nothing else better to do. I respect my time. I respect myself. Yeah. But I'm going so far back because I ain't seen these comments. Were. Would you say you're addicted to working? I'm more addicted to money. Someone keeps asking about Hackney and Edmonton beef. Yeah, I mean, I do know one or two stories and that, but someone said, how often do you go home bargains? Not that often still. Big up Jada. Not that often. Right. So Jada asks, do men care if a woman got a degree, education, and good career? Obviously, if I could pick the same girl, let's say she's a 10, yeah? So she's at the top of the food chain. If I could pick the same girl, one version, she works in McDonald's, or one version, she's a lawyer, or, you know what I mean? She has a high paying job, she's an accountant and that. I would pick the professional woman any day. But if you're a 4 and a lawyer, you're a 4. Give me that 10 that works at McDonald's. I'll find a job for her, yeah? Shit. Yeah? A 4's a 4. Yeah? No one ever looked at Oprah Winfrey and thought, yeah, man, gonna beat the brakes off that. No. No way. No one gives a shit that Oprah Winfrey is a billionaire. When you see her, no one in the history of the world, yeah, has thought to have a jack-off session with Oprah Winfrey in mind. No way. It's not happened. It's not happened. No way. But they will go on to certain websites they're not supposed to go on to. And no, I'm trying to think of chicks from my time, Carl. I don't watch that. Since Jada said Wagwan, Jada Fire, I never liked her, to be fair. Yeah. Pinky, I never liked Pinky neither. This is the thing with the pink hair, and she used to be a rapper and a stripper at the same time. I was more into watching like Cherokee. Lacey Duval. Anyway, right now, too much names, man. Shit. Yeah. No one gives a shit if a chick is a billionaire. You shouldn't care about a woman's money. You should be the one with the money. I'm not saying to splash out on a chick, but how much should you have saved by 30? About 50 grand. Jesus Christ. How's this guy just keep posting the same comment? Oh, so someone said, JY, do you know of any story times of Tiverton or Manor House? I'll tell you this thing, yeah? I never used to like going Manor House. I've got an auntie that lives in Manor House. And I remember one time, I've got a cousin from Tottenham. In my generation, he's big in Tottenham. He weren't on beef like that, but everyone just knew him. He was a very popular man on the ends. So anyway, me, him, and one of my other cousins, he passed away still, RIP. We're on the bus, and I don't know, we must have left Tottenham to go to Manor House, to go to one of our auntie's house, yeah? And obviously, we're sitting at the top of the bus. So obviously, we're all together, but we're not sitting next to each other. You get me? We're on the top bunk. This is on the weekend, yeah? You sit where you can. So obviously, the 259 terminates at Manor House, or at least it did, yeah? I think it can go as far as King's Cross, but certain times the 259 will terminate at Manor House. So the bus was terminating at Manor House. Obviously, we're getting off anyway. So obviously, as we've all stood up now, everyone on the bus has stood up. So my cousin, who's from Tottenham, is like 5 people ahead of me. It's me, and then maybe my other cousin is like 2 people behind me or something like that. We're going downstairs, and as my cousin gets off the back doors, there's a youth standing in his face. So all I hear my cousin is saying, I'm from Tottenham. I come to see my auntie. So as I got off the bus, yeah, I'm thinking like, what? I clocked like, raw, my man's trying to, yo, my cousin jumped off the bus. He was off the bus for 2 seconds, and one youth was trying to G-check him. There's certain times I used to go to my auntie's house and that, and yo, when you get on the 259 outside, there used to be this place called the Manor Club or something like that. There will be bare of them. Like, I remember one time I was there on my own, yeah? I can't remember what I was doing. I think I went Green Lanes or something like that. I'm standing outside that bus stop where the Manor Club is. I think now it's like I think there is still like a kind of like kebab shop shutter thing or whatever in it, yeah? There's about 20 of them. It's like 1 p.m. in the afternoon, yeah? There's like 20 of them. Blood, I'm just standing there. I'm just waiting for one of them to say, yo, who's that? Yeah? So anyway, I'm keeping an eye out and that. One of them decides, yo, where are you from? So I said, Edmonton. So the youth is shouting, Edmonton. He's talking to the other youths. Then there was like, what part? And I said, N9. And he shouted, N9. And then that was it. A bus came, and that was it. Yeah? Luckily. Yo, there was like 20 of them. And these are the youths that are from my generation. Yeah? I ain't gonna say anyone's names or anything like that. But yeah, I used to hate going Manor House because Manor House is just an estate. It's not like Tottenham where you can just slip through and that. It's basically the equivalent of going to MPK and getting on a bus. Yeah? You're literally on their strip, bro. But yeah, obviously see, Tiverton's a weird one for man, isn't it? Like, you know, I actually got a good little story actually. So basically, one of my cousins is Tiverton. I've got another cousin, his brethren is a Tiverton youth. And then obviously in jail, man became cool with bullets, yeah? So actually, to be fair, I can say their names because it's nothing in it. So basically, one of my cousins is one guy called Littles from Tiverton. And then I've got a next cousin, his close friend is one guy called Specs. They got Specs. So in Tottenham, the Tiverton Pyru youths in my generation, I would say they're the most on it. If I had to pick, because man had a little run-ins with certain man from certain areas and that. The last people I would pick to have beef with in Tottenham out of my generation is the Tiverton Pyru youths. To me, they was the most on job. Yeah? I'm not saying that they had mad stories where they done this and they really done that. But what I'm saying is, I knew who was who from every area and that. And I'll say, yeah, them lot were the last people that from my generation, I'll say, yeah, I'll go head to head with them. Yeah. So this one was funny still. So me and one of my brethren from school, this time we was in college, yeah. We were walking near Everton Green bus station, and let's say it was the 27 or the 259, yeah. It must have been the 259 because this bus was terminating. Yeah. Anyway, the 259 has pulled into Everton Green bus station, yeah. But as it's pulling in, I've seen about 5 or 6 guys standing up because obviously they have to stand up anyway to get off the bus, yeah, because it's terminating. As they've stood up, one of them has spotted me. This is my cousin's brethren, yeah, and he's pointed at me. God, me and my brethren, we were God. They ain't catching us that day, yeah, because I heard recently they must have mashed up somebody, yeah. I ain't gonna say this person's name, but they mashed up somebody. I think he went away and he was revived as well. I was like, yeah, that ain't happening to me. Yeah. But me and my friend, we ran to my house and we got stuff and come back. But yeah, they were gone. But yeah. So I must have seen. I mean, I ain't one of them people. I'm not gonna stand like, yo, like, allow it. I'm such and such cousin. Like he saw me. He knew it was me in it. Fuck that. Nah, you ain't catching me. You ain't catching me. I ain't gonna stand up there and hope that you man allow it. Yeah, nah, fuck that. Because the policy in my generation was if you catch man that are cool with your side, like let's say, yeah, I put it this way, I've got a cousin from Wood Green, yeah, he's a proper Wood Green youth, yeah. His brother, his half-blood brother, was a Hornsey youth, yeah. Like I can even go into a video right now. His brother didn't rap, but his brother was a proper Hornsey youth, yeah. You can have people who you're cool with on the other side or whatever, yeah. So you get me. The policy is, yeah, if you catch someone, let's say like I'm with like what, like no. Let's say yeah, I've got beef with my cousin's people. My cousin will say to his people, yeah. Say for example, I've got a cousin from Tottenham, but I got beef with certain people from his block. My cousin will say, all right, if you catch me, if they catch me, just punch him up. No, yeah. But I don't know what this generation's on now. But that was like the policy in that. Yeah. If you catch my man from the other side, yeah, don't do that, but just rough him up and that. Yeah. So I even trying to allow it now. Fuck that bullshit. Fuck that. So Jada asks, does Nadia use Jamaican seasoning on food? Nah. She just does her own thing. You got Jada for the rolls. Right. I've got like 84 comments that I ain't seen. So someone said, why do you want children? Who else am I gonna pass on this hard work to? What do you want? What should I want the state to inherit all of my hard work? No. Even if my children are some ungrateful motherfucking brats, yeah, just by default that you get me, them being a part of my bloodline and that, you know, they should inherit my things. Yeah. I'd rather my children, yeah, take my properties and blow it. Yeah. Sell them and blow all the cash rather than it goes to Enfield Council. You mad? Or goes to you know, people that want to sit around and claim this is wrong with them, this is wrong with their kids and that, so they can get all these benefits. Forget that. Get that. How long have you lived alone? 5 years? No problem. I'll do another 5. Yeah. You know them man there in jail, them real jail cats. Yeah. Who would be like, listen, if I get recalled, I'll sit down for another 2 years. No problem. There's man that's so institutionalized in jail right now. They've been in jail for 6, 7 years and that. And let's say, yeah, they're on some sort of thing where they don't know when they're coming out. They will say, boy, I can sit down and do another 3. Literally, Believe it or not, there's man that will sit that they've been sitting down for 15 years, and if someone said, you know, what, would you do another 3? Yeah, I could do another 3 easily. Someone said, have you been to prison before? Yeah, one time. Been to 2 prisons, but yeah, one time. What a madman. A man said, what if I did an R charge? Can I still be an electrician? Bro, you're a madman. JY, therefore when anger issues school. No, I didn't. No. I said JY's for Prime Minister. They got no man there. I'm just skimming through these comments. Sorry, guys. One sec. Can I use my first time buyer to buy investment property? Oh, that's a good question. Can I use a first time buyer? No. Because I mean, that first time buyer is like 5% you can put down or whatever in that. So I'm not too sure. I never want to tell someone no. I don't mind telling people yes, but I never want to say no unless I'm 1,000% sure. Because I don't want people to go off some wrong advice. Do your own research. I'm unsure. Yo, Jay Wise, I've made an investment in property in Albania, expected to make 1.08 mil. What should I do after? Right, if you hold on to that property, like how much will it increase afterwards? Just getting through these comments. What did this James Arthur guy say? Jay Wise, can I be an electrician with a normal criminal record? Yeah, blood, listen, you want to see my criminal record? Yeah, ain't nothing mad on there, but just bare assault charges and stuff like that. I've still got a job. I've never been refused no job because of my criminal record. But obviously, my criminal record is not mad. Yeah, I ain't got no madness on there. Just punch up couple man. You get me? Don't you get bored of writing the same comment? But only stories about Hackney and Edmonton beef. No, I ain't got no stories. Right. For example, relationships on afford in a house, so they would rather come to you for them. What's the process of pulling out equity and purchasing another home? Obviously, the property, let's say, obviously, the property had to have gone up in value and that. Obviously, you need to speak to a mortgage broker. But what it is, I always forget the fucking formula. You have to basically leave like 25% in of the new value. Hold on, let me think about this. Hold on. If I write it down, I might be able to figure it out. I can't remember the formula. I know a part of it is you have to leave 25% in. Hold on. Yeah, I can't remember, man. Yeah. So this dual person saying you're allowed to take 75% of the new value. Yeah, but I can't remember the exact formula because Nadia has told me a few times, but I always forget. It's something to do with the increase in value, maybe minus the existing debt. Something like that. But then where would the 25% deposit come in? I can't remember, innit? But I literally sent someone a DM about this as well the other day, how to work it out. Oh, I can't remember the fucking formula because obviously I ain't a mortgage broker or anything. I just know quite a bit. And the thing is, the reason why I say I know quite a bit is because nobody knows anything. Some of the questions that people ask me about mortgage, now, yo, this is basic stuff. This is what they need to teach in schools. What's that subject? Because back in my day, there was a subject called PSHE. A bunch of bullshit nonsense. What is it called now in school? I can't even describe what you would learn like in PSHE. But put it this way, back in the day, like maybe like back in the 60s and that, or the 70s, they actually taught kids proper stuff. Like they would teach kids like this is how you wash clothes, hand wash clothes. This is how you use a washing machine. This is how you iron clothes, like sort of stuff like that, like homemaker sort of stuff. It's called citizenship. How old are you now, Carrie? Wesley said same. It's 23. Okay, all right. So you're younger than me then. All right, cool. So yeah. In something like citizenship, I mean, it doesn't really sound appropriate, but yeah, in something like citizenship, they should be teaching about mortgages. Very basic. You don't need to teach the kids about remortgaging and that. You just need to teach them how to get on the fucking property ladder. They need to teach the kids that, you know, if you want to buy a property, you need to have at least 10% of the value of the property. I mean, you can put down 5%, but then your mortgage monthly payments are going to be higher. But they need to teach the kids, and they need to go and use examples. So they need to go on to, they need to sit, this is what they need to do, yeah? 30 kids in a classroom, yeah? Put, Alan, what's your postcode? Oh, I live in N9. Yeah, all right, okay, cool, boom, N9. Yeah, right. They're going to look at properties in N9. Sophie, what's your postcode? I live in N13, Palmer Street. All right, we'll look at properties in that area. So let's say Edmonton, property, 3-bed house is worth 450. Right. You're going to have to, if you was buying a property today, you'd have to get a 10% deposit of 45 grand. Okay, Sophie, you live in Palmer's Green, yeah? Right. Average house price, 700 grand. Right, you're gonna need 70 grand. Right, you definitely gonna need to be a fucking lawyer or stockbroker. I don't know what the fucking boy's first name was, yeah? You might be all right on as an electrician, but really and truly, boy, obviously London is a bad example on that, but let's say like Northampton, yeah? The average house price is about between 230 to 270. Obviously, the properties that I've bought are cheaper because they're not in desirable areas and that. They're not in no mad areas and that. Well, they did have a bad reputation back in the day, but not anymore. But there are 3-bed houses that are a lot more expensive. So all of my 3-bed houses, they're basically worth 210 each. But in the other parts of Northampton, you could averagely pay about 250 for a 3-bed house easily. And this is just terrace house and that, but they might be in a more desirable area. So that's what they should do. Teach kids about mortgages and that. A man said, stop trying to get everyone on the property ladder. We need some people to stay poor and work for us, man. Yeah, I hear that. But, you know, this is how it should be. You know, they get people from another country to come over and do all the menial work. Yeah, all the menial tasks. And whilst they're over here, because obviously they might not have no opportunities to be educated and that in their country for whatever reason. Whilst they're over here, after they do their menial jobs, they should go to night school, you know, learn how to be an electrician, plumber, nurse, whatever and that. And once they become qualified, maybe even still work in this country for a few years and send money back home and eventually go back home. You see that? You see, if you had a bunch of foreign people sending money back home and that, it would actually improve the economy back home. I've seen this with Romania. I ain't been to Romania, but I've seen little videos and that. Even with Poland, yeah, back in the day, like 06, bare Polish people came over and that. Nadia was kind of like technically one of them. Like Nadia is not a Pole, yeah, she's not Polish like that, but yeah, she came over like that. She came over in 06. Poland is like England now. Yeah, and I'm not just saying that because like, oh, Nadia might have said that. No, I've seen a program, a Polish man, a Polish man was like, England, Poland, no difference. He was actually moving back to Poland. He's like, it's no different now. Yeah, we're talking in, I think the documentary is like 2023 or something. Obviously, back in 06, it was different. What happens is the people then come over here, they work, they save their money, send it back home, and that will help improve the economy. So yeah, no people who are born in this country, unless there's something really wrong with them, they should be doing some shitty menial task like being a bin man in Birmingham. That should be for people who are uneducated because of, you know, the circumstances they come from in another country and that. They should not be working those stupid menial jobs. The foreign people should come over here, do the menial jobs, get qualified in that time by doing evening classes and that. And then when they get qualified and they're earning good money and that, send some money back home, build their place, and then go back home. It's mad how you got people who are born and bred in this country and they think their way or their ticket out or, you know, their way to financial freedom, they're not thinking this, but this is what it is to lie and say that their kids have got ADHD and autism and they're suffering from anxiety and depression so they can get their £3 a month. Fucking crazy. Crazy. See, this is why you have to be successful. Because what's the point of working a job to earn 50 grand a year? If you earn 50 grand a year, you're basically going to take home about 3 grand, yeah? Do you know there's some woman who's 150 kg, sits around and eats yogurt and pizza all day long, claims she's got anxiety and depression, and her 3 kids have all got autism and ADHD, and she's getting 3 grand a year. So you're going to bust your ass and go to university, work hard for your money to live like them, to get the same money as them. So you have to be successful so you don't have to live like them, or you don't have to be put into the same bracket as them. How much for a mentoring? £60 for 1 hour. Book your mentoring session ASAP because the price will be going up soon. You watch. One day real soon. I'm not talking about one day. One day real soon it'll be £100 a session. Yeah. I'll wait until I get a lot more followers to then be charging them money. But the thing is, even if it was £100, it would still be worth it. It's just that if people don't know, they will £100 not worth it. Because I've had people say like, yo, that was the best £60 I've ever spent. Like, well, it's great value for the money. if something is well worth £60, that means it's worth more than £60. Yeah. If a man feels like that was the best £60 he spent, he could have spent some more. Yeah. Not that I've ever done this, real talk. I've never paid a woman, you understand? But if a man went to a certain establishment, yeah, a certain house, yeah, and he paid £100, he was like, yo, that was the best £100 I've ever spent. He would have spent £200. Yeah, he thinks it's worth double. Yeah. So £60 for a mentoring session, yeah. For 1 hour, I mean, 1 hour is more than enough, to be fair. Actually, sometimes it's not, because I've had session going for an hour and 15, 20 minutes. Do you think there's a difference between black men and ninjas? Yeah. Yeah, there is. Me, I'm a black man. I'm not a ninja. I mean, nah, do you know what? I couldn't even say this is the difference between a black person and a ninja, because 99.9% of black people think like this. But anyway, one surefire way to know that you're a ninja is if you blame people that look like this for your problems. Yeah. I'm not saying that if you do, like, it's the be all and end all, you're a ninja, because 99.9%, but that's a ninja symptom, definitely. Yeah. If you smoke things you're not supposed to be smoking, you're a ninja. Now, obviously, are there people that look like my walls and my t-shirt that bun certain things that's not supposed to bun? Yeah, they're not ninjas. But what I'm saying is, you've got ninja symptoms. If you've got multiple baby mums dotted around the place, you're a ninja. If you think buying nice clothes and wearing drip and chains and bust down kettle pots and pans, iron watches, and that is the be all and end all, you're a ninja. You're a ninja. Those are ninja symptoms. If you really feel like you're on top of this world, although you're living in a council house, but you're driving a brand new Mercedes, you're a ninja. Right. So someone asks, how do you book? Send me a DM. Send me a DM on this. Now, I'm not accepting no guests, man. I'm not really interested in talking to anyone. What do you think of wearing one-to-one reps? What's that? I don't know what that is, man. Oh shoot, I forgot to put the other live on after it disconnected. Give one of your yards to your Marge. Nope. Why would I give my house to my mum? My mum hasn't worked for it. I'll give a property to my son because they are my child and that. Yeah. Like I've been saying in my videos and that, you don't owe your parents nothing. My children, they don't owe me nothing. All they owe me is hard work. That's it. And continue the bloodline and the lineage. That's it. They don't owe me no material. They don't owe me no financial, nothing. Do you know how many parents right now, yeah, are banking on the success of their child? Yeah? Their child is their flipping retirement fund. Crazy. Make your own damn money. Do you shoulder shake? What's that? Yeah, this thing's not fucking working. Oh, doing it now? Opinions on people in the army. I mean, I ain't joining no damn army, blood. Do you think boxing or MMA is better for a street fight? I mean, just stick to old school boxing, man. Someone said the way you treat your mum is the way your children will treat you. So because I'm not giving my mum a property, then my child won't give me a property. Yeah, that's cool. I don't need no property for my child. I won't need no money from my child. Do you know how many youths out here that 19, 25 years old that have to borrow their mum £500? I'm 32 years old. I haven't had to borrow money from nobody ever. I've never borrowed money from anyone, you know. Never in my life. Obviously, I've said to my mum, yeah, listen, I'm completing on a property soon, yeah. I might need to borrow 2 grand from you or something like that, just in case. Yeah, but I'll pay you back in like 2-3 weeks. Yeah, just so I'm not out of money. Now it never happened anyway because I was able to get more, but I'm just like anticipating in 2 months' time. Like, oh, you never know, I might need the extra 2 grand. Yeah, just so I'm not down to like my last grand or last £500. Yeah, but I've never borrowed money from anyone, never. And that's the thing. A lot of people, they want to borrow from their friends and that because they don't have to really be held accountable for payments back. Whereas if you borrow from the bank, first and foremost, most people won't be able to borrow from the bank because their credit score is so shit. Second of all, you know, your friend is gonna have more leeway. You can have more leeway with your friend. You can have more leniency with your friend when it comes to paying it back, as opposed to a bank that doesn't give a fuck about you. But it's funny though, if I have a friend or a family member and their bank that can see their outgoings, can see their spending habits, can see their credit score, if their bank won't trust them to lend them money, why should I be the donkey to trust them and lend them money? Then think about it. Think about it logically. Why would you lend your friend £2,000 if he's not in a position to borrow it from his bank? Because you can get personal loans easily, quickly, within a day or two. If your bank's saying, nah, I don't want to lend this person 2 grand, there's a problem right there. It means your bank doesn't trust you to make fucking payments because they can see something that you're not telling Jay Wise. So I'm not lending no one no fucking money. Don't come to me for no money. I don't lend no one no money neither. My mom's got housing benefit as well, so how's she charging me like that? Yeah, I'm saying £800 for a room in Dagenham, you know. Fuck me. I have 100k. Any advice? Go and buy a few properties, man. Jay Wise, do you know about quantity surveyors? Nah. When I was at the infamous Holborn job, there was these 2 guys that were, I was gonna say African. One was actually Jamaican, but yeah, 2 guys that were quantity surveyors. But I said, why are you always angry? I'm not angry, man. Wise, if you had a chance, would you work an office job? Yeah, probably, yeah. I mean, I've been based in the office before because when I was a manager at the infamous Holborn job, I was based in the office and that. So yeah, we're coming off at 10 o'clock. I might have an early night tonight. See, I don't go to bed until midnight every day because I'm literally just working. To be fair, I ain't had my dinner yet. Hmm. But yeah, the title of this live stream, well, on YouTube is what is the title? Poverty is a choice. And that is the realest fucking truth. Everyone who is in poverty, I'm not talking about an 18-year-old kid. Every adult that's in poverty, they've chose that. Now, when I say they've chose poverty, I'm not saying they said, right, I'm not even going to knock on the door of poverty. I'm going to kick it down and enter the building. No. But by you not doing certain things, you have chosen to be poor. You have chosen to be in poverty. See, by you not getting highly educated, by you not being highly ambitious, by you not working overtime, working on the weekends, working at every and any opportunity you can, you are choosing to live in poverty. You see, the bar has been raised over the last few years. No longer, uh, the days have gone where you could just work your average 9 to 5 and blow a lot of money and that. Now, the bar has been raised, and now things are a lot more difficult. You see, you get to see who's who when we play the game on hard mode. You see, everyone could complete the game on easy mode. We'll see who's who on hard mode. We'll see who has it easy on hard mode. Is it hard mode right now? I don't know. But am I living life on easy mode? You damn right I am. So poverty is a choice. Some people think, oh, it's not a choice. It's not a choice. It is a choice because you decided not to do certain things. A lot of us have been at workplaces where the manager was begging for people to do overtime. You know how much people would tell the manager no or turn it down? Well, this is why you're broke. Now, obviously, if you have children and that's different, you want to spend time with your children and that. But hey, at some point, your children are gonna have to miss you because you're gonna have to go and put in some work. This is the thing. I was doing a reaction video the other day, and I've said this before in the past that like a lot of parents, especially dads, yeah, will say, "Oh, I love my kids. I love my kids." No, you don't. Andrew Tate was saying this in one of his videos. I can't remember what he was saying, but I ended up obviously pausing the reaction video and saying that, yeah, like, there are guys out here that say they love their kids and that. But what are you really like? If you love your kids, you're supposed to be going over and beyond. There's guys out here that claim they love their kids, but their kids are in a house where they can't afford to put the heating on, barely afford electric, the fridge is always and the cupboards are fucking empty and that. But they're saying they love their kids. Blood, you don't love your kids unless you're doing overtime to make their life better. How can you claim that you love your kids and your kids don't even have a bank account with more than 2 grand in it? There's certain parents right now, they don't even have an open bank account for their child. Or there is an account, but there's like £67.08 in it. Nothing. That's basically a mentoring session with JY. How dare you claim that you love your child, but you're not working overtime? Are you watching Eubanks and Connor? Yeah, I do want to watch it still. I want Eubanks to knock him out, man. Why? Oh, okay. Wise, would you say you think negative of your mom because she's in poverty then? Well, yeah. She could have done better. You're in a country. See, I remember I was talking about this before, and there's a YouTuber in America saying, "Oh, well, like you should retire your mom because hold on a minute, your mom came over from a different country to make a better life for you in America." And I'm thinking, bro, stop fucking projecting. Most of your audience, their mom and dad are black Americans. Yeah, they're born and bred in America. Stop projecting your own life onto other people. Talking about, oh, your mom, because he's Nigerian descent. I think, yeah, he even came from Nigeria as well. So yeah, he's actually from Nigeria. He didn't come from a Nigerian mom and was born in America. He actually came from Nigeria and went to America. Talking about, oh, so your mom come over from another country to make your life better. And you don't want to repay her? What are you talking about? Most of your audience, their mom and dad, their grandparents were born in America. What are you talking about? My mom and dad, they're Jamaican, but they're born here, just like me. It's my grandparents that came over. My mom's mom came over when she was like 10, and my dad's mom came over when she was like 21. So basically, I've got three grandparents that are Jamaican, and one of them is from somewhere else. So man's 3/4 Jamaican, but I just told people that I'm Jamaican. Yeah. You know what? Go on, come on. Yeah, we say, man. I'm gonna try and I want to enlarge this thing because I don't like the screen being like this. But yeah, carry on, talk. Let me see if I can sort this out. Well, I don't know. See, a few people said some stuff in it, but why would you say it's different from for women? Yeah, I know, but at the same time, why would a woman allow a guy that shouldn't be passing on his genes to pass on his genes? Like, think about it this way, yeah. I've said this hundreds of times, and that you might not have heard this, but I'm gonna say it again. There's certain guys that I know, I wouldn't even want to be friends with them, let alone I wouldn't want this fool to phone my phone. But then he is going to go and find a chick and she's going to think, right, he's worthy of passing on his genes. It boggles my mind. There are guys out here. I even had someone phone me like a year ago, and I wish I saved their number. Not to keep in contact with them, so that if they phone me again, I don't answer their call. Yeah, because they're an idiot. And this guy will go on to have kids. Done. Mm. I mean that. Yeah, I hear what you say. Yeah, you are 100% correct. This is why a lot of people have children out of boredom. They've got a void that they need to fill, so they're like, right, let me just have some kids. Do you know how many children were born out of COVID? Like their parents are like, well, there's nothing else to do. Yeah, might as well breed out the place and that. But that is not a good enough reason. That is the truth, though, what you're saying. But that is not a good enough reason. No way. Yeah. Yeah.
But I thought you definitely have an opinion on this. You know that Gabby Stevenson. What do you think of him?
Oh, obviously, that you have to have seen my video that I was talking about him and that. I don't like that guy. I mean, I never make no videos about nobody. But I'm not gonna have someone come onto the internet and be telling young people in a time where it's the easiest to be successful. You see, he would say the other way around, like, oh, it's the most difficult time to be successful. I'm saying it's the most easiest time to be successful because now you've got more millionaires than ever before. And that's obviously due to social media and that. He is spreading the wrong message. Basically, I kept on seeing this video where he was saying, stop telling people all they need to do is become an entrepreneur and work hard. So I thought, you know what? Let me give him the benefit of the doubt. I went onto his page and I was looking for a video that would do him some justice. I'm not going to say the title of the video because I made a video about this and I ain't releasing it. Yeah? It's going to be on Patreon anyway. So I found the video, the one video that could have saved him. And he said, basically, you know, you need to have a rich dad in order to become rich. I'm like, is this guy serious? Now, obviously, I ain't rich. Yeah, I'm on the way to be rich, but I ain't rich. I don't have no rich dad. Furthermore, I don't even know my dad like that. I know his name, I know what he looks like, but I don't know my dad like that. So what is he talking about? If you have a big platform, it is your duty as a man, especially if you're from a working class background and that, to empower other young men, not tell them that you need a rich dad in order or you're effed. Crazy. And then people will say that people like Andrew Tate are bad when all he's trying to do is empower the youth as opposed to this guy. So that's my opinion on him. I don't like him because he is not empowering the youth. He is supposed to be standing there at the forefront saying, yo, I've come from a working class background. If I can, you can. There's two things wrong with this guy. The number one thing is, yeah, because he got rich during trading, it's gambling. Yeah, I know the trading guys are going to be on my case now, but trading is high class gambling, and gambling cannot be replicated. There's no formula, really and truly. Whereas, like for me, if someone say, "Oh, how can I make money or become somewhat successful from property?" and I'll say, "Well, first of all, go to school, go to college, get yourself an education or a degree or whatever, and that. Become self-employed, get a high-paying job, work as much hours under the sun on Saturdays, Sundays, whatever, and that. Save your money, make investments in property, do that over a prolonged period of time, rinse and repeat. You'll be sitting on 10 properties over a 10 to 15-year period. Bam, you'll be somewhat successful. You don't have to be filthy rich. You don't have to be a millionaire. His way of becoming rich, being a trader, it cannot be replicated like that. There's no step-by-step process. So that's number one. Number two is because he's from a working class background, yeah, and this is all of us, yeah, this applies to all of us. If you become, and obviously he became a millionaire very young, like 23 years old. Do you know how much backlash he would have got? Yeah, he didn't just buy a few properties like Jay Wise, because I still look broke. People wouldn't know I got money unless I told them, yeah. He didn't just buy a few properties like Jay Wise. He became a multi-millionaire at a young age. Do you know how much backlash he would have got? I speak about this in my videos all the time. When you start to grow and elevate and you start to make money, the people that are around you, they're going to hate you. That goes for your mom, dad, brothers, sisters, uncles, neighbors, friends. So he probably feels guilty. Sorry?
You think he's just trying to please them because they're jealous? Like his old friends and that, they probably think that it's like he's just lucky, so he's just playing into it.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. They will say he's lucky now, but so I feel like he feels guilty for being rich and successful because he's surrounded by a bunch of broke people, and that's what will happen. That's what happened. Broke people will make you feel guilty for becoming successful. Yeah, anyone that you leave behind, they won't like you for it. I've got this famous analogy. You got John, Paul, and Alan. All three of them earn 40, 42 grand a year. All three of them drive a Ford, Skoda, or Toyota. All three of them live in a terraced house. But make one of them, make John be promoted to manager or director and earn 120 grand a year. Make him start living in a detached house in a nicer area. Make him start driving a Mercedes E300. And watch the other two start talking about him behind his back. Oh, he don't want to hang around with us. We used to do Friday night pub. That was the ritual. Last Friday of every month. Now he can't make it. We ain't seen him for 4 months and that. Yeah, maybe because he's working more hours because he's got a higher job position. If you leave people behind or you start to grow, people don't like it. So that's what has happened with him. He's been made to feel guilty for becoming successful. So that's probably why he has that mentality. Like, oh,
You feel guilty for what you got if you didn't have to work hard for it. Because really and truly, if you're properly grafted, you're gonna deserve it because it's hard work.
who? The people or yourself?
Yourself, like
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, some human beings, some people will feel like they don't deserve stuff as well, you know. Like, you know, I've had someone around me who was offered a job paying double and they turned it down, and they thought they turned down the 70k a year job, although they was earning 35 grand a year. They turned down the 70k job because God said it wasn't the right time. No, you felt like you was not good enough to earn 70 grand.
But you see them, what class are they? Because I started on a degree apprenticeship in it, so I work in an office and mix of office and site because I'm doing surveying. And the middle, like what I can tell the difference between middle class is that they kind of downplay both, like they're embarrassed about it. Like even some people saying, like, oh, I always feel bad, this and that, but they feel like they don't deserve it. But I feel like that's because they don't value money as much because they've had it anyway, regardless.
Nah, I feel like you're just proving my point. They have to downplay their success because they feel guilty because you've got broke working class people around them. Do you know what? Yeah, it's funny. So I work obviously in council properties and that. So every now and then I will come across cleaners, and I actually came across a guy who used to lay carpet. It's a carpet fitter, and he said to me, "Do you know what? I didn't ask him about this." But he said to you, "Do you know what? You know some of them mansions and that where the millionaires live, they live fucking dirty, mate." And I just noticed, there's a little theme, a little trend going on. And you can understand, like Jay is a man that really analyzes and I take notes and that, obviously, innit? And I've been to a few cleaner people's houses and they're like, yeah, some of the worst houses I've been to is them millionaires and that. And I'm just thinking like, why has this even come up in conversation? You're watching them too much. Yeah, I never asked you what their status was.
Yeah, about middle class, they don't even care. Like, they're not actually bothered about you. Like in a good way. I'm saying they're not judging you. It's always us, because even I remember I went back to my area and people were saying like, our goals are all right, like acting like there's gonna be. But in reality, they're far less judgmental than most people in our community. They're just focused on their work. People here got too much time.
Yeah, trust me, man. I'm trying to change this flipping background or this. See, I'm so dead with technology, man.
Right, but what's your long-term aspirations? Like what you're saving and that, but what's like, are you just gonna keep doing electrical till how long?
Oh, no. So two things there. No, I won't be doing electrical for the foreseeable future like that. And no, I'm not saving. Yeah, I'm against people just saving and sitting on large wads of cash. Nah, your money's got to be working for you. So you work hard for the money and then your money goes out and works for you. You don't want to be sitting on 50 grand and that. Nah, man. Forget that. Maybe when you got like 30 properties and that.
How many properties like to satisfy? Obviously, you never need to stop. You're gonna aim for the financial freedom.
I don't know, man. It's easy to say 10 properties, you know what I mean? And that's just a nice round number. But is it 10 properties or does it need to be 12 or 13? I don't know. But yeah, until I get I'm just gonna keep chasing the money until I'm like, right, I can chill out now. So
When you got your money, what are you trying to do? Because you don't want to get bored in it if you don't got nothing going on.
say that again.
When you got your money, what are you trying to do with it? Like, do you have a purpose with it or not?
Nah, not really, innit? Obviously, as long as I have properties and that I can pass down to my children and that's good enough for me. I'm not a spender like that. You know what I mean? Like someone could give me 100 grand, I wouldn't know what to do with it. Yeah, because I would feel bad for just going and blowing it on a car, paying 40 grand for a car. So,
But
yeah.
you see, when you're fully up and you got no financial stress, would you be against buying nice stuff for yourself? Like, if there's no like problem financially, and you've already secured a lot of generational wealth, or is that not even you?
Nah, I'm not a spender, man. Like, you will never, I don't care how rich I am, you will never find me with a nice watch. I don't care about materialism. No interested.
Or is you always like that though?
Always been like that. I've never had no designer. Like, I've got a Versace robe. My girlfriend bought that for me. Yeah.
When you see when back in the day you jumped on whatever, why do you do that?
What's that? What? Back in the day when I was a youth man.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the mind was different back then. You know what I mean? Yeah, obviously man's just trying to make money so man don't have to, work a proper job and that. But yeah, the mindset was a lot different back then. There was no properties, there was no setting up the next generation. Man's just trying to eat.
Yeah. So it weren't like you weren't trying to chase like anything like flashy or nothing. You were just doing it because
Yeah, nah. Even back then, nah. Even when I was 17, 18, nah, I wasn't trying to, never cared about materialism. Like, I could be a multi-millionaire. I'm not getting no yacht. I don't care about things like that. I don't care about private jets. I don't care about, like, I could buy expensive jeans and that. It's just not me. I'm not getting no Gucci hologram jacket.
but you see all this wealth you're building, you're not worried that if you got that your son won't have the same work ethic.
Yeah, I hear that, but you know what? Yeah, I'd rather take the risk that my son has no work ethic than make him have to grow up poor and struggle. Nah, forget that, man. I'd rather take that risk any day. Yeah. But my son will want to be just like me. So he will have that work ethic. I will drum it into him from day one.
Yeah. But how are you gonna deal with him though if like if he's got no like ambition?
Or put it this way, yeah, like my children, they won't have to pay me any rent when they live with me, yeah. But they need to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. So if they're at college age, they need to go to college, uni age, they need to go to uni or whatever and that. If they're not doing that, then they won't be a part of this household. They won't be in a JY's house, put it that way. So yeah, that's the way it will be, yeah. Because my children don't owe me nothing apart from hard work. That's it. You need to be working. That's it. You're born in a country where there's ample opportunities to make something of yourself. You should be happy that you're not in Jamaica or wherever in it, yeah, eastern parts of Europe or Siberia, that where there's no opportunities in that. So you're gonna work, or you can't live in this house. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I'm a strict person, so
but where you living, bro? You're living like outside of London.
yeah. Northampton. What about you? You from London, yeah, obviously, yeah. Oh, Dagenham. Yeah. Yeah, I still class Dagenham as East London though, man. I don't. It's not Essex to me.
Yeah, I used to live in Enfield. That's why I saw your page as well.
Oh. So are you from? Where did you grow up? Enfield, yeah.
Yeah, I'm Turkey Street, bro.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, my auntie used to live Island Village still. So.
Oh yeah. No, but I can't lie. Northampton sounds dead, bro.
Yeah, it's dead. But it gives me the opportunity to work because there's nothing else to do.
When you see property in London, is that not a good investment?
Yeah, but it's too expensive for me anyway. You know what I mean?
So it's better to get multiple properties cheaper than less expensive ones.
I mean, me personally, yeah, I would, because someone must ask me in the comment section the other day, like, would you get rid of 4 of your properties to buy one in London? Nah, hell no. No way. You can't play Monopoly with 1 or 2 properties. Yeah. So nah, I've got more opportunities when I've got 6 properties as opposed to 2. That's how you diversify your portfolio, by having multiple properties rather than you just waiting for 2. You're waiting on 2.
You see, what I don't understand is the conflicting opinions on property, because I know, like, my economics teacher, he's got money. He's like, man, he's got money, and he's saying like property is not worth investing anymore because of the Labour government. Like he's saying that landlords are losing money, but you're not losing money on property.
Yeah. But I ain't making no big money like that, because at the end of the day, this property thing is a long-term game. Yeah. But yeah, the Labour government made it extremely hard. Landlords have no rights. Tenants have all the rights. Tenant can move into a property and just stop paying rent. Huh?
He's saying that you can get tenants sitting there for like a year without paying, you can't do shit.
No. Apparently, after the first 3 months, then you can, serve them a notice, and that's like, yo, why are we waiting for 3 months? If you miss one payment, yo, you should be able to serve them a notice right then and there. What are we waiting for 3 months for? If your daughter was kidnapped, you're gonna wait for 3 months to call the police? Nah, you want to do something about it straight away. Why are we waiting for 3 months?
Yeah, people like him.
Yeah. Labour government is for broke, lazy, working class people, and Conservative is for people who want to work and want to improve their life. Yeah, the Labour government, what they do is they want to come in and they want to take from the rich and give to those who are too lazy to go out and get it themselves and make their life easier. And they are the poor people. That's why I've never voted in my life, but I would never vote for Labour. Never. Because they believe in taking from the rich and giving it to those who cannot be bothered, who are lazy. Nah, I don't believe in that. I believe the rich should get richer and the poor should get poorer. Sorry?
They're not even taking from the rich, though. They're taking from hard working. Like, up to, I'd say, because even 300k a year, that's not actually rich, bro. That's just like hard working, like class, whatever. But the real, like, elites or whatever you want to call it, like, you don't have to necessarily work there. They don't get taxed regardless. So I think Labour they're more of a party for not even working class, just unemployed, bro.
Yeah. Still trying to work out how to change this thing, man. Alright, you got any last words? Can I let you go, yeah?
Nah, not even, bro.
Alright then, man. Alright, take it easy, yeah? Alright, so. You got me out struggling, boy. Man are laughing, you know. You know I don't know how to operate this thing. How the hell do I get it back to the normal mode? Every time someone tries to, I said, bro, watch on YouTube how it works. I shouldn't have to go onto YouTube to see how to change the camera angle or whatever and that on TikTok live. Hold on. Oh, this is getting on my nerves, man. Man's inverting the camera. Yeah, trust me. I'm coming off in a minute anyway, so. Someone said, would you ever do a meetup? Do you know what? I was thinking about that, you know. Because, yo, man's been getting approached by youths on the road, yeah? And I'm saying to my girl, yeah, like, it's the same type of, like, it's the same sort of people. It's just like youths off the street, like, man them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yo, that man could actually start like a little community, you know? Because it's all the same types of people that resonate with my message and my content and that. It's just man off the road, just like me, just a guy off the street. Big him up. I can't remember his name, but he helped me put my TV in my car. And this is in Northampton. He's like, oh yeah, I watch your videos. And I'm like, yeah, respect, man. The other day I was going into Asda and that, a man stopped me. I'm like, right, I can't even go nowhere now, you know. Fuck it, no. Yeah, I was thinking of doing a meetup still, man. Yeah, I'm coming off in a minute anyway. JY said, talk about squatters' rights. You know what? Squatters don't have no rights no more, you know. They can only squat in a commercial building. They can't squat in a house. I said, we should rush JYs for violating us. Yeah. You know, I'll give this guy hold on. 1 minute. Go on, big man.
Yes, bro.
Yes, yes.
What you saying?
Nah, man, what do you want to talk about? 1 minute, yeah?
Yeah. So I'm 20 right now, and by the end of the year, I'll have about 30, 40 grand. 30, 40 grand.
Yeah.
Sitting there. So I'm thinking getting into service accommodation, but because I've heard, I've been watching your videos, I've been wanting to know what's the best thing to do with my money to go into Airbnb. Is it to go into Airbnb, HMOs, stuff like that? So I'm wondering, what's the best move for me to do with the money I've got?
Do you know what, yeah? What you up north somewhere like Yorkshire, yeah? Bradford or somewhere like that, yeah? Leeds. Oh, Birmingham. Oh, okay. Yeah. So how much is the average like 2 or 3 bed house in that area? Do you know? Is it like 150? Or
Yeah, about 160.
yeah, so all you need, yeah, if I was you, do you know what you should do? Yeah, put down 10% as a deposit, like as a residential property. I would say live in it 3 weeks out of the month and then rent it out Airbnb for 1 week. Yeah, and then pardon?
See what the stats are saying from there.
Yeah. And obviously, because obviously I'm on TikTok and that, but yeah, just evolve it. That's all I'm saying. Evolve the plan afterwards, isn't it? Yeah, but yeah, for a starter, just start off with 3 weeks and then just do it like 1 week Airbnb, and then you get me. As I said, I'm on TikTok, so yeah, just evolve it from there. But yeah, because you know what, yeah, these tenants, man, they just got too much rights, man. Like it's crazy, yeah, like how they're just not doing nothing to help the landlords, and the tenants can just stop paying rent, and you have to sit there like an idiot and wait for them to not pay rent for 3 months. Then you can serve them a notice and that. So yeah, just do the service accommodation, and you can make money from it as well, man. For me, obviously, it's a lot of back and forth and that, but yeah, this is the situation that the property thing's in right now, man. Just the tenants have got too much rights. If we could kick out a tenant after 1 month, then yeah, fine, no problem. But it ain't like that, so.
Yeah, because I was thinking, just get about 4 or 5 Airbnbs going, putting all of the management company. So it won't be passive, but it'll be hands off.
Yeah.
The collecting would just be, I'd just be collecting it, and then, but I've seen, depending on which area I put the dough into, I'll be getting a certain return on my investment.
Do you know what? Yeah, like with the Airbnbs, yeah, you don't obviously. I can't speak for every area now, innit? But like, especially like Birmingham, you should be alright having it in any sort of area, as long as it ain't like a dangerous area that's got a bad reputation and that. But if it's just an okay area with a little bit of crime and that, you should be alright. Because a lot of people be like, oh, well, what if they don't want to move there or rent the property, should I say, because there's nothing to do. The thing is, yeah, people go to areas for all different reasons. It's not just because some football game is on or some event. People might have family that they're visiting, but for some reason, the house that they're going to visit is going to be a bit overcrowded. So you know what? They'll just get an Airbnb for 3 nights and that, and just travel there. And it's only a 2-minute drive away from the family house that's overcrowded and that. You don't know what reason people are going to places. There are contractors who are doing waterworks or road works and they're there for 4 months. So, and they might need a place and that. So you just don't know. You just don't know why people are going to certain areas. But as long as the area is somewhat busy, like let's say Northampton or Birmingham and that, then you should be all right. If you're in some rural village in the middle of nowhere, then yeah, no, that's not optimal. That's not ideal. But then again, as well, maybe some people might want to rent like Airbnb, just a little holiday away, just want to get away to clear their head. Now, obviously, you don't want to build your business on people just wanting to just clear their head and that, because that might not be too common.
So I'm just thinking, I don't know if you heard about the HS2.
Yeah.
They're making a whole ecosystem of new block of flats on such a search spot. I'm thinking, should I do short-term stays or long-term stays? So, because I'm thinking, I do days, so people book in one day. Is it better to do?
Nah, so basically, me and my brethren were talking about this the other day, yeah, because obviously he does Airbnb and I don't. But I was asking him for some advice on it. And he said what he does is he never does 2-day stays. He always only does 4 days. And that's because people who are going to have weekend parties, they're not going to book it for 4 days. Yeah. Now, someone could say, but if they're going to do a weekend party, they might just book it for 4 days and use it for 2. But when people are booking for a party, they're just going to book it for Saturday and Sunday or Friday and Saturday or whatever and that. When they search for the 2 days, yours will not come up because yours is 4 days only, 4 days minimum. So you can just avoid that altogether. Obviously, you're limiting the amount of people because some people might just want to stay for 2 days for a good, genuine reason. They're not on no badness, but that's the protection that you need. That's just the risk you have to take, innit? Yeah. But yeah, he only does minimum 4 days. That's to stop people from booking the property as a party because they don't care. They ain't got no respect. They will hire out the property, use it as a party or a video shoot and smash the place up and just bust out. So
yeah. Can I ask, are you doing HMOs or are you doing budget?
So yeah. I got rooms. Yeah, so basically it's a HMO. Yeah. I rent out rooms. Yeah, because I would never give out a whole flat, a whole house to anyone. I would have to trust this person. So
yeah. Would you say for me, just do one B&B or just do HMO and see where that goes? Because I've spoken to someone that I know, and they're telling me HMOs is the best thing you can do because you get, I think it's studios from abroad that come through and the government help them with the funding. So all you got to do just speak to the government or something. But that's another thing I've got to figure out for myself.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So me personally, I don't rent out the whole property. I do rooms. So yeah, the HMO thing is probably the safest option in that. But if not, then you can do like the service accommodation Airbnb. It's up to you. But yeah, I would just stay away from renting out the whole property to a person because yeah, people don't rent it out to no family and friends as well. Don't do that.
Yeah. What should I do? How should I do? Pay my taxes on such and such.
No. Declare everything. You know what I mean? Because you want to be able to boost your income so that you can show HMRC. I earn 70 grand a year, so now I can borrow this amount of money to buy more expensive properties.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously with Airbnb, it goes into a bank account and that. So yeah, you should really be declaring that because obviously there's a paper trail on it. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, just make the tenants pay you into your bank account and that as well.
Yeah. Do you do any DBS checks for some books?
I ain't even done that, you know. I just go.
People, before they let the person book out the B&B, they say, okay, send me a passport. What's the reasoning? And then the reasoning might just let that slide up for the passport ID because you see if there's some young bucks saying, just gonna stay for the weekend, you know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, but then but if you do the 4 days minimum, you ain't gonna get no one just for the weekend, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, I don't do no DBS checks or nothing like that.
Yeah. Do you think it'd be worth it or?
What's that? What would be worth it? What's that?
Doing extra checks on the one who's booking out the B&B.
Nah, man, nah. If you want to do like DBS checks on, you know, people that are doing HMO rentals and that, but even then, I think they have to pay for it. They're not gonna want to do it. So you're gonna have to. I mean, I'm not saying 110% this is the way, but no one's gonna want to pay for it. They'll just go somewhere else that don't do no DBS check because the DBS checks are not for free. So either you or them have to pay for it. They're not gonna do it. Now, for work, you want to keep your job, and you know it's financially viable for you to do a DBS check and pass, so that you can continue working at this job. But for a room share or Airbnb, no one's doing no DBS check. No way. They wouldn't even pay £2 for it. They wouldn't even pay £2. Nah, they ain't doing no DBS check, man. Obviously, you just have to be careful. Like I remember I had one girl phone me up talking about, yeah, she's fleeing a domestic violence situation. She needs a room. And I said, listen, if I do give you the room, which I didn't end up giving to her, but if I do not tell that guy where you live, because I'm not having some girl's crazy ex-boyfriend turning up to one of my properties, and then my tenant, who's a long-serving good tenant, feels like he needs to get involved because some guy's kicking her teeth in next door and that. So I said, you know what? I didn't even let her in the prop. I didn't even give her a viewing, nothing. Just ended it there on the phone, yeah. But yeah, I'm not renting out to no one that's feeling no domestic violence situation. But this is what happens. Girls will be fleeing the situation for their crazy ex-boyfriend and tell him where she's living now. And then this maniac will fly out from God knows where, Portsmouth or wherever the girl was from, to Northampton where the property is, and then just, nah, I'm not having it. I had one Asian girl one time. She was cool, but she said, yeah, she's getting a divorce from her husband and that. I said, listen, don't tell him where you live, because she came to view the property. Because you don't know, man might, yeah, turn mad and, nah, forget that, man. Nah, forget that. So I don't want no chicks and their crazy boyfriends coming to any of my properties. I'd rather just have men.
Yeah, I'll see what I've done for that afternoon.
All right, cool, man. All right, respect, later. Right, now, how do I'm still stuck on how to get out of this thing, you know. Should be able to just drag it or something, man. Why are they making this thing so complicated, man? So look, now I've zoomed in on myself. Anyway, I'm coming off. Last words, you lot. Last little comments in the chat. Oh, someone put down in the live chat what a grifter is. Someone, a couple people call me a grifter. A couple people call Gary Stevenson a grifter. What's a grifter? That's what I want to know. That's the last thing. Man, say I'm watching my granddad operate the phone for real. I'm like Yoda, yeah, the old wise man. Short. I mean, I'm 5'9", so yeah, you know, a little bit on the shorter side, yeah. I'm coming off now. You'll have to catch me next week. Hopefully the phone returns back to this normal state. What?
Self-respect works though. No, you can value yourself, but
The hell? Right. Someone said, bro, how do you talk to young men and let them know they are wasting too much time on social media gossiping about celebrity ball? Ask them, are they rich? Are they making money? And if they're not, that's the reason why, because they wasted too much time doing nonsense. Say to them, do you know the reason why you're not making as much money as you're supposed to or as you could? It's because you're wasting time doing X, Y, Z. Anyway, you man, catch me next week, yeah? Stay wise. Don't know.